Don't knock them over. 4 of you idiots have to stay outside with me to help make this thing work.
Alright, I'm connecting the black wire to the orange one running through a 5 to 6 kilo ohm resistor, because the black wire is the trigger for the circuit. It needs about 5 volts or so. Alright, see, the lights aren't working. This is what happens when the lights eventually burn out. I'll just zoom in a sec. Alright, so what's happening right now is only parts of the tubes are actually illuminating, because there's no even distribution of the mercury vapor throughout the tubes. And this is happening because the inverter board was unstable. And eventually mercury collects on one end, the resistance builds and the board overloads. If you warm the tubes up though, the mercury pressure I think rises, and that helps the arc strike, and eventually it stays on, but it's a pretty dumb thing to do because it's going to start zapping into the ground unless you can properly shield all your high voltage wires so that it's completely safe for anything that you plug the monitor into. Otherwise I advise switching to LEDs. So you should be able to see the end. It's a bit difficult, but the ends of the lights are illuminating differently. And this test, I'll just note, was with a Wacom 24HD, cintiq 24HD inverter board. When this happens, the tubes, if you can find replacements, can be replaced, or if you know how to restore tubes, which requires some, I think overloading them with a lot of high frequency AC can like restore them, but I don't know. What you need to do to fix this is to switch out these blue capacitors. They're designed to fail. Eventually they'll start biasing AC into a more DC. So one wave, your positive wave will get smaller or your negative wave will get smaller. The duty cycle will go off and unbalance the tubes. And what you need to do is you need to replace them and repop them, because the longer they go, the more they burn out and the less they work. But once they're replaced, you can get new tubes. But the ends need to be completely potted there. So you've got to rebuild those rubber bits there to put them in. And I think it's easier just to use LEDs. From what I can tell, an LED replacement kit is about as bright as these tubes are when they're going.